Yizzo. I got none on my jacket. What up? 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 What up, people? Bullet the barber. Bullet, you about to put your thing down, pimp. You about to put your thing down. Your package is on the way. You probably gonna catch it tomorrow. Let me see. Tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, you probably gonna catch it tomorrow. Check my footwork. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so y'all get the notifications. He said, not Dee-1. Yeah, man. I like Dee-1 too. I told y'all that. I spoke highly of him on this platform. He getting beside himself. We gonna talk about it though. He said, don't tell me you bodied that little boy. Nah, man. I ended my exchange with him with peace, because that's what I wish him. I spoke in my previous live stream. I wouldn't let nobody, you know, nobody else's conduct change my frequency or nothing like that. He said, I can't lie, Dee-1 always seemed to be a bozo, son. Yeah, man, he ain't gonna pull me off square and shit. If I've already spoken about appreciating his message and some of his music, I ain't gonna get on here and go in a different direction because he showed his ass. So, nope, 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 nope. Buck Shine says, numbers getting low. What you mean by that, pimp? Damien, respect to you too. Like the video, man, as you come in here. He said he got a good message. He just be borderline weird. He be doing too much. He kind of doing too much. He kind of doing too much. He is. He said the Honorable Gully, that's honorable. Most dudes would come on here and bash him. Nah, man, I believe he means well. But he kind of doing too much, man. Nobody made him the governing body of hip-hop or nothing like that. Oh, this is, I think this is white painter or some shit like that. I don't know if this up there right now or shit. These joints be flying out. But yeah, we had an exchange today. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Before we get to that, we're going to talk about, he said, too many fake conscious motherfuckers on the internet. He said, is Dee-1 a nigga from New Orleans? Yeah, it seemed like y'all want to talk about that first. Shall we? He said he be overstepping a lot. He, it seemed like he's nominated himself as some type of like governing body for hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? The thing with hip-hop, I've said this before, the hip-hop is like fruit salad. It's something in there for everybody. It's something in the bowl that's going to appeal to everybody. You know what I'm saying? You might not like everything in the bowl, but it's something in this fruit salad that's good for you and it's going to appeal to you. That's what I think about hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? Slim Thugger said he thinks he speaks for the culture. He means well for his people, but his delivery is where he goes wrong. Hip-hop, man, it's whatever your preference is and shit. Through the course of hip-hop, we've had all sorts of contributions. You had X-Clan, you had the Poor Righteous Teachers, you had NWA, and that's a great, I'm glad I mentioned NWA. NWA said a whole bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, you can eat a dick, don't matter, just don't bite it. And you know what I'm saying? I think Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, they went along. They eventually said bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks and a bunch of other shit. It's about whatever you prefer, whatever appeals to you, and that's what you could patronize. But this is what happened between me and him today. I'm going to talk about Mike Knox in a little bit. This is what happened today. He made a post today, and he called himself bashing or putting 50 Cent on the spot. Y'all know I ain't with that. Y'all know I ain't with that, man. I'm pro 50 Cent like a motherfucker. Y'all know that. I'm pro 50 Cent. His intellectual overshadow his character. He be doing too much, yo. He be doing too much. He says something along the lines of 50 Cent is something to the culture. You know what I mean? Basically saying that he's negative or some shit like that, right? Right? But we all know that 50 Cent is a practitioner of the 48 Laws of Power. This is what Dee-1 was saying. That the stuff that 50 Cent be doing on Instagram is like, I don't know, like detrimental to black people, some shit like that. 50 Cent ain't thinking about you, nigga. 50 Cent ain't thinking about you, and I don't think he considers me, you, or anybody else when he goes about conducting his business on Instagram. But number one, 50 Cent is a practitioner, a well-known practitioner of the 48 Laws of Power, right? And that's what you see him doing online. Kanye West is also a practitioner of the 48 Laws of Power. I think it's law number 15, court attention at all costs. For an entertainer, especially considering the way that how fickle fans are today, and you know, the focus seems to jump around the room and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, music is being produced so fast. Back in the day, you had people making albums every maybe 2 years, 3 years, or some shit like that. Now you might have a motherfucker put out 5 albums in a year. Because of that, the fans have become fickle. You know what I'm saying? And oh, he said something about, this is what he said. He said, first 50 Cent, and this ain't Dee-1's fucking business either, but he said first 50 Cent took a picture with Big Meech, and then he called him a snitch. And then he posted pictures of Joe Budden naked after Joe Budden said that he needed therapy. Man, that ain't your motherfucking business. That ain't your motherfucking business. That's not your business. That ain't got nothing to do with you. It ain't got nothing to do with black people. That's a nigga, 50 Cent, going through his man shit with other men. It ain't got nothing to do with black America. It don't. It don't. It don't. It don't. It don't. It don't. And he thought that he was like putting 50 Cent on trial. You're not built like that, man. You're not built like that. And I'm here to testify to this. There's not a whole bunch of black male entrepreneurial role models today, in my opinion. There's not a lot of them. Not ones that come from where we come from, ones that appeal to us. 50 Cent appeals to me. I read his books. I listen to his philosophies. A whole lot of fucking powerful information is spewed from this nigga's mind. This ain't no motherfucker who's, this ain't a drug addict. This ain't an alcoholic or nothing like that. 50 Cent don't drink. 50 Cent don't smoke weed, no drugs. He's into fitness, and he's into conducting fucking business. He's into ownership and shit like that. And for the last 20 years, maybe 25 years, he's been one of the people who's been actually prolific and flourishing in his business. You know what I'm saying? He said 50 Cent is a public figure. His actions should be critiqued. Man, what the fuck is you talking about? This is the problem. A lot of motherfuckers aren't in a position to critique certain people and shit. What the fuck? What makes you think, or Dee-1 for that matter, think that he can critique someone like 50 Cent? I don't understand. And you're entitled to your opinion, but I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I read 50 Cent's books. 50 Cent got multiple books out. You know that, right? I read his books. I listen to his audio books. I listen to the things that he say. And then I watch him execute these philosophies. He had a lot to do with me quitting my weed, my weed habit, cold turkey. He said, so you have to be of a certain caliber to know when someone is wrong. Man, I don't even know what the fuck you talking about. I don't even know what the fuck you talking about. And that's one of the problems with social media. There's no, in school, people with different comprehension levels, people with different levels of intellect are separated and shit like that in different classes and shit. This social media shit, you got the slow niggas in the same classrooms with the niggas who are prolific and shit, with the niggas who be thinking their ass off, with the niggas who be executing and shit. And that's the fucking truth. And I'm listening to what this... he puzzled the fuck out of me, but at the end of the day, the things that Jim Jones and I believe maybe Rick Ross said to him earlier this year was true. Dee-1 called himself putting these guys on trial for the type of music that they put out. It ain't your fucking business. It's not your business. What them niggas choose to put on a song, it's not your motherfucking business. They got a parental advisory sticker on music so people of a certain age don't have to consume that shit. You dig what I'm saying? It ain't for everybody. But some of the shit that comes out of Rick Ross' mouth, it appeals to some niggas. It does. He speaks to a body of niggas. He does. Some of the things that Jim Jones says, he speaks to a body of niggas and shit. There's some people who take the shit that he's saying and digest that shit and move off that shit. You dig? And getting back to different people being on different frequencies and shit. The things that Dee-1 is saying, his message, I can understand his message. I appreciate his message. I told y'all that earlier this year. A lot of the shit that he was saying is the truth. Is the truth. There's a lot of degenerative, low vibrational content delivered through music and shit. I agree with him 100%. I do. But what you doing, what Dee-1 is doing, is kind of like turning into a Charleston White type motherfucker and shit, where you just sit around and point out what you feel is a flaw in other people's content and shit. You dig what I'm saying? And other people's content, that's what he does. He sits on Instagram and he takes shots or takes aim at actually people who are excelling in what it is that they do and shit. Keep in mind, these niggas ain't lawbreakers. These niggas pay taxes. These niggas are feeding their families. A guy like 50 Cent, 50 Cent has fed a lot of black people and shit. I'm pretty sure 50 Cent, through the course of his career, he has employed a lot of black people. He has changed a lot of black people's lives. 50 Cent just bought a studio in Shreveport, Louisiana, right? That's going to employ a lot of people of color, right? And that's what Dee-1 is from, Louisiana. That's going to employ a lot of people. That's going to feed a lot of families. That's probably going to put some people's children through college and shit like that. Correct? Correct? Right? You got to be careful. You got to be careful or mindful about the battles that you take on. Dee-1 has a purpose, I believe, and he has an agenda. But he ain't wearing blinders. He's not wearing blinders, and he's not focused on that what he is trying to do. He worried about what everybody else is doing. He worried about what everybody else is doing. He did. Joe Budden said that 50 Cent needed therapy. Joe Budden is a former drug addict, smoking dust and shit like that, right? But he says that 50 Cent needs therapy. Joe Budden was walking around naked. Joe Budden was walking around naked and walked into somebody's motherfucking crib. Who the fuck sound like they need therapy? Who sounds like they need therapy? Joe Budden or 50 Cent? He said sleepwalking. Man, sleepwalking my ass. That nigga smoking fucking wet. Sleepwalking. Man, you out here. He's on the East Coast. Don't you know that when you step the fuck, let's say you sleepwalking, right? Do you know when you step outside on the East Coast, Jack Frost is the fuck outside? Jack Frost is the fuck outside on the East Coast. It ain't that much sleepwalking in the world. As soon as your ass step out in that cold, that shit get the biting on your ass, you're gonna snap the fuck out of it. Whatever it is that you going, you know, your little sleepwalking act. As soon as Jack Frost get the blowing on your ass and you naked, you're gonna come to. So let's say that you wasn't sleepwalking. That's fucking angel dust. That's wet. When niggas smoke wet, they get to taking their fucking clothes off and shit like that. Right? And he says that 50 Cent needed therapy. This is what it was rooted in. 50 Cent made a joke and he said he's smoking on Irv Pack. Wasn't 50 Cent at odds with Irv when he was alive? Wasn't he at odds with Ja Rule and Irv and them? Wasn't he? Irv Gotti was aligned with somebody who had 50 Cent shot 9 times, right? He was aligned with somebody that had 50 Cent shot 9 times, right? Right? So he checked out. 50 Cent don't got a kumbaya with him. 50 Cent don't got to say rest in peace and condolences to your family. He don't got to say none of that shit. Me? If I'm at odds with somebody and they check out, I ain't gonna make a post about it, but I don't give a fuck that they pushing up daisies either. I don't care that they pushing up fucking daisies either. I'm not gonna go to the extent and say I'm smoking on the Irv Pack or nothing like that, but with some niggas, it's on for life. It's on for life. They tried to kill him. So in his mind, it is what it is. It is. My man says, shaking my hand, bro, I ain't your motherfucking brother, nigga. I don't even fucking know you and shit. I don't even fucking know you. But that's 50 Cent's train of thought. That's his trauma that he's dealing with. He decided to make a joke out of it. A lot of people said I wouldn't do that. But it wasn't no bullets hopping around in your ass either and shit. Nobody was trying to kill you in front of your grandmama house. So the way he feel about them niggas and the way that you on the outside feel about them is 2 totally different things. And Joe Budden said he needs therapy. And I think Joe Budden was just making a joke. I think he was just, you know, little sarcasm, light sarcasm. But who are you to say that he needs therapy when he leads by example? 50 Cent is a great role model for young niggas who come out the streets, who trying to build something from nothing. You can't tell me that 50 Cent and his philosophies ain't airtight. I'm a student of this nigga. I've been a student of him for some time now. I listen to the books he put out, Hustle Smarter, Not Harder. Everybody don't put out books. Do D-1 got a book out? Do D-1 got a book out? Anybody here familiar with D-1 having a book out? Do D-1 have any books out? Anybody? Wasn't Irv laughing about 50 getting poked in the studio? Probably so. The 50th law was fire. Yeah. Somebody here said he's an educator. I said, does he have a book out? Does D-1 have a book out? He's a professor. Y'all keep saying this shit. That's not the question. I said, does he have a book out? He said, not that I know of. Okay, somebody in here said that he's a college professor. Is he teaching his own curriculum? Is he teaching his own curriculum? Is he teaching his own curriculum? Is he? Is he teaching his own curriculum? He's teaching somebody else's curriculum, correct? If he's a professor, he's teaching someone else's curriculum, right? Right? Okay. So what gives him the right to be critical of someone who's doing more than him? He said, I think he teaches on. Professors create the curriculum for the class. That's what makes them unique other than other teachers. When D1 get online, is D1 pushing his curriculum? Or is he talking about other niggas? Is he, when he get online, do he share his curriculum? Is he teaching? Or is he being critical of niggas just doing better than him in music? D1 made a children's book. Okay. He teaches on conscious rap and African studies. Is that what he's pushing from his Instagram profile? Google said he was a middle school math teacher. Thank you. 9 times out of 10, he in somebody's business. I only know him for coming at other rappers, nothing else. That's kind of what's making him relevant. Putting other niggas' names in his mouth. Same thing with Charleston White. It's kind of like a similar approach. Now he said he teaches hip hop. What does him making a children's book got to do with anything with the subject at hand? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what you doing from your Instagram profile, your soapbox, you got your bullhorn. Your Instagram is your bullhorn. Because he don't have no YouTube presence. He's not popping on YouTube all like that. But on Instagram, he be ranting and raving, and he does the green screen videos where he puts people on trial and tell people what they're doing wrong. It ain't your fucking business. It's not your business. He said that's clout chasing. That's exactly what it is. Does anybody know any D1 songs? Probably not. Probably not. You know why? Because he don't really perform. He don't really push his songs. At the end of his post about 50 Cent, he referenced a song that he did, I think he said in 2012 or some shit like that, which nobody listened to. And his whole point in putting 50 Cent on trial was to plug an old song that he had. Yeah. He said one song with Starlito that I know of. He got one with Project Pat. This brother wrapped up in his jacket. This jacket got my company name on it. You see the G? Do you see that? If I pull it up, you can see the 1080p. You see the 1080p? This is a professional jacket. You don't know anything about branding. And that's the problem with a lot of you niggas. Y'all get online and y'all look at niggas that's doing better than y'all, and y'all try to find holes in it. Like D1, y'all look at niggas who doing better than y'all, and y'all be trying to find holes or chinks in a motherfucker armor and shit like that. Everyday crab nigga shit. Yeah, that's what niggas be doing. I thought he was gonna be needed, but I saw him do was complain and cry. You're right. Nothing about teaching. Nah. He don't be doing no teaching. He started out on the path of teaching, but you know what gets more attention? Taking shots at other rappers and shit like that. He don't say nothing about people from different, he don't say nothing about people from different ethnic groups and shit like that. He goes straight at niggas and talk about niggas and shit. And it ain't nothing uplifting about that. Peace, family. Keep doing you from Harrisburg. Thank you for the super chat. Mickey Russell says, show your change so you can really enrage the haters. You can see them already and shit. That ain't what I came here for. I snapped my coat up on purpose because I didn't want y'all focusing on that. I wanted y'all to listen to the message here and shit. Yeah. He's exactly what I said. He another Charleston White. He's not an entertainer. That's not what he's putting emphasis on. He's not trying to push no music. He's not trying to push his next great project. He's online taking shots at a nigga who just launched his own television network. It's called the 50-something network. It's on the Roku channel. I watched it the other day and shit. This is what he's doing. He's trying to maybe get the attention of, because you know 50 Cent will give a motherfucker attention. Trying to get the attention of, or in terms of which the terms that y'all use today, clout chasing. Yeah. He got songs with people that don't really like NYC, all clout chasing, but use God when he gets confronted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. D1 is a nobody. He looked like he sell candles and oils. I ain't come here to bash him or take shots at him because, like I told him on Instagram, I understand your message and it's appreciated too, but you probably should stick to trying to share your message and your philosophies because he's educated and shit. He's an intelligent dude, as opposed to basically get a following or attention by talking about niggas that's doing better than him. Yeah, he was talking about Rick Ross. He had some critical things to say about Rick Ross. Rick Ross is an excellent entrepreneur. He is. Rick Ross is an excellent entrepreneur and shit. D1 is in no position. He's in no position to be taught. Rick Ross is also a published author too. He's trying to be critical of niggas that's doing better than him, niggas that's doing more work than him, and it don't make no goddamn sense. It don't. D1 got good intentions, but revolutionary suicide, thinking he could change via music. I disagree, Gully. You will never see D1 acting a damn fool like Charleston. Can you at least agree with that? Nah, D1 is a lot more civilized than Charleston White, but his approach is similar to what Charleston White does and shit. Yeah. D1 is only hating because he doesn't like educated brothers with hood knowledge and experiences. Rick Ross is amazing businessman, marketer, and author. I made a video a few months back where I said that I was listening to Rick Ross speak on one of these white platforms because he be doing content outside of the algorithm that we thrive in or whatever, right? And I was like, man, this motherfucker sharp. And then I thought about things that were said on 50 Cent's book, audio book, Hustle Smarter, Not Harder. And it hit me right away. I'm like, these niggas is kind of like the same person as far as their philosophies and shit like that. Now, I don't know where they had they disconnect, where they don't get along and they don't like each other and shit like that. But them niggas got a lot of shit in common. They do. And that could be the problem. D1 is the Umar Johnson of rap. He should push his philosophy and not bash someone else's. That's exactly what I'm getting at. That's exactly what I'm getting at, emphatically. Charleston White said he used to hate on rappers till he started getting money like them, so he fell back. I heard him say that. I heard him say that he used to hate on niggas wearing Gucci and shit like that till he got him a pair and shit. Everyday crab in the barrel. And when you point out shit like that, he'll go back to trying to reinforce whatever positive message that he feel that he started out on. Most people can't get on without downing others. D1 is talking down on people he thinks he's smarter than, but are further than him. That makes him salty. That's what I get out of it. Where is D1 school programs? My little cousin is in a program that 50 Cent created in Houston called G-Unit Business Lab. Out Shift says 50 and Ross didn't bite them rooks for real. They had co-authors that handled most of it. Man, what the fuck is you talking about? Don't you know I know when a hustler is speaking to me? What the fuck is you talking about? You trying to say that niggas are incapable of writing a book? I wrote a fucking book. You think them niggas can't write? The shit that come out them niggas' mouths, them is hustler philosophies. The fuck is you talking about? Them is hustler philosophies. It would be easy for niggas like them to write a book. You know why? Because they done executed the shit. All you got to do is document how you got to this point where you got $150 million in the case of Rick Ross, and how you sit on top of these empires, got your own network and all of that in the case of someone like 50 Cent. The fuck is you talking about? He said, what sneakers you got on? I got on Jordans. I never wear Jordans. I got on Jordans right now. I think these is number 4s or some shit like that. Basically, he need to stay in his lane and stop veering into others. Correct. You said it, man. People have to not stick their noses in things that's pointless and show and prove. At least first, show and prove. Exactly. Show and prove. Show and prove. Because all you doing really is just ranting on Instagram. Don't you know if the Instagram app was to crash, you don't have much to stand on. A lot of people first became aware that you existed on Instagram, but because you was attacking other rappers and shit. What's the problem if you want to have a normal conversation with another black man about how they think? You probably can't have a conversation with a black man about how they think, but you could read his book and get an idea of how he thinks. That's why they write books. D1 is self-hating behind Jesus. Hustler's ambition was and still is an anthem for my clique. When you obtain knowledge, it's to teach, not to downgrade or act like someone is beneath you. Whether you disagree, you should still show grace. Heavy Betters Entertainment, thank you. D1 eat pork. He probably do. He from Louisiana. He from Louisiana. He probably do. Most of these niggas have very low self-esteem and always have, so it's very easy for them to envy others that they wish they were more like. He alienated the fuck out of me. He alienated the fuck out of me because I've spoken favorably about D1 on this platform, and I support a lot of his philosophies. But when he posted 50 Cent, I'm like, man, what the fuck is you talking about? What is you talking about? Why would 50 Cent got going on with Big Meech? How does that end up on your plate? How does that end up on your plate? How does 50 Cent and his conflict with Joe Budden, how does that end up on your plate? If you got a mission, or you got an agenda that you try to put down, why does that even matter to you? I'm gonna tell you why it mattered to you. Because you want fucking attention. Yeah. You're not getting to a convo from the comments. How D1 talking, he should be able to formally submit and sit down with them if he high-powered. Them niggas don't want no conversation with him. He approached hating and shit like that. I saw Rick Ross singing the entire Hate It or Love It verse. Tells me they study one another. Probably so. Respect from Belize. Thank you. We seen what happened to the conscious community. D1 is a fake Hotep dude. Hustle Hard, Hustle Smarter was a great body of work. I agree with you 100%. You're right. He got to show and prove and find a different approach, because you can't hide behind the word. He definitely picks targets to create a story or narrative to do his soapbox talk on. That's what I identified this afternoon. What is this about? This what you doing right now. What is this about? What is this about? It ain't your business what somebody else is doing on Instagram. If you don't like it, you ain't feeling it, don't follow it. Straight like that. Gully, I'm out, your Lakers on fire. They is. I don't want to talk about them because we might jinx them, but they is getting busy. They is. So I'm a dead dad. I had to let y'all know about mine. If you go to my Instagram profile, you can see my exchange with D1. And nigga told me I was brainwashed. Nigga, I'm doing better than you. So you could talk that brain shit if you want, nigga. I went to prep school. I went to college. I had a 3.56 grade point average. You could talk that shit to somebody else. That shit might work on some niggas. It might work on me. No, and I'm doing better than you, my nigga. Straight up. D1 is dope but corny at the same time. D1 got the right message but be going at the wrong people. The labels dictate the narrative. The rapper just gets a check to relay it. Do you agree 50 Cent don't like Rick Ross because he had relations with his baby mama? I don't know what them niggas' problem is. Them niggas been at it a long time. I remember 50 Cent had Tia, who's famous now, in one of the magazines. I think it was Smooth Magazine. He did maybe a photo shoot or some shit with the chick Tia. But I don't know what them niggas' problem is. I don't. I really don't. I don't think most people know what their problem is. Straight up. Members only, what up? 50 had two of his baby moms. One he lost a lawsuit over. All right, we're going to talk about the Lakers just a little bit. Then I'm going to go on to this Mike Knox shit, right? Luka had 32 points, and they beat the shit out of the Denver Nuggets for the first time on the road in Denver. The Lakers beat the shit out of Denver, and that ain't happened in a long time, like some years. Like, the Lakers don't be beating Denver, let alone be beating them in Denver. They kicked their ass, but this is what's going on. Luka done lost like 25 pounds since he got on the Lakers team and shit. Like, they got a before and after picture of him and shit. And you can visibly see he's skinnier and shit. So, that's probably some of the problem. He wasn't in no good shape at all. But he definitely lost about 25 pounds already. He only been on the Lakers maybe like a month. But at least 25 pounds. Like, you can visibly see he's skinnier. It was a different BM in the magazine. I thought it was Tia. He exposed the sex tape of one of them and then had Tia out there with Mayweather. That's beef started because 50 didn't speak to Ross when they first crossed paths. Similar to the situation with 50 Cent and Ja Rule. I think 50 spoke to Ja Rule and Ja act like he didn't want to speak to him. That's crazy. Rick Ross always wanted to squash it, but 50 ain't having it. Ross dissed 50 first to some random shit, and 50 looked at him crazy at an award show. Why isn't there an option to become a member of my channel? It is. I don't know what's up with your phone and shit. A lot of people in here are members of my channel. Luka almost got a triple-double. 4 minutes left in the second. Oh, they on TV right now. All right. So, boom. I got to close this out right. Mike Knox has reached boiling point. they kept picking with him and fucking with him. And Oskino been going on a tear for like probably like 3 weeks now and shit. He's been going so hard that I stopped watching. I stopped watching. Like, I watched for like the first week, but after the first week, you could get an idea what Garcia did wrong and how Oskino feel about it. But he said, nigga, you got 28 more days of this. I'm going on your ass. So he's basically cashing him in and shit. Like, I used to do Dark Low like that. Once I seen that it was lucrative, I would get online and make me a Dark Low video. Like, I don't give a fuck. So that's what Oskino was doing to Garcia. But anyway, Mike Knox put out I uploaded the video to this channel. You can look at it on this channel. Mike Knox uploaded a video to Instagram where he said, now you got to rumble me. Now let me give y'all some history on this word. Let me give y'all some history on this word. When a Philly nigga say, rumble me, I know y'all have heard some of the comedians like Molly Cobain, he be saying it a lot, rumble me. That's like one of the most ultimate challenges that you can get from a Philly nigga. When a Philly nigga say rumble me, it's officially up. And this goes back to the bare to the bone Philadelphia. Philly is about rumbling. You know what I'm saying? And I was in the juvenile homes with them niggas. That's like the ultimate challenge when a nigga say rumble me. And guess what? When a nigga say rumble me in Philly, you can't try to interject no gunplay or nothing like that. You can't. That's almost against the rules because he didn't approach you like that. He said rumble me. That's man shit. That's what I'm telling you. That's one of the most ultimate challenges. I'm gonna give y'all some history on that rumble me when that comes out. That mean everything, all other options has been exhausted. Let's get it, right? And I was in a juvenile with them niggas, man. They were so caught up into the whole rumble me thing, right? These niggas used to tie shoelaces together. They would tie shoelaces together. They would. I seen them do it and shit. And Philly got a fighting style that if you never seen it before, you would almost have to brace yourself to see the way that they fight. They just literally just stand in front of each other and just beat up each other's faces. Don't bullshit you. I bullshit you not. They just stand in front of each other. They stand in front of each other and just rip. You might have heard King Ernest say, man, let's rip. They just rip. But the first time I seen it, he said no blocking. Man, it's brutal. The first time I seen it was in Vision Quest, this home that I was in, right? Boom. Now, where I'm from and the way I grew up fighting, if a nigga get to hit me in my face too much, I'm gonna grab him. Philly don't do that. They don't really do that. I'm gonna grab you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna grab you. It's gonna turn into a wrestling match. You might get suplexed or some shit like that. But Philly, they don't do that. They don't do that. He said they cannot box. Shit. I don't know who told you. Maybe the young ones that's out here spinning the block and shit like that, maybe they can't box. But the older niggas, the niggas that's like in their 40s and shit like that, they all know how to get down. It was almost a prerequisite. I'm telling you, this is y'all gotta go look at my video. I got a video on this channel called my Boys to Men, my Philadelphia Boys to Men story. You dig? He said they don't brawl. Shit. And you ain't never seen such a brutal rumble, man. You ain't ever seen such a brutal rumble or a brutal fist fight until you seen some Philly niggas just rip. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. He said once somebody grabbed, they will break it up. Yeah, sometimes they, oh, stop. And then y'all gotta go over and shit. It used to go like that and shit. But the first time I seen it, I was like, oh my God. I seen this nigga named Briz rumbling Briz was from North Philly and he was rumbling a Puerto Rican named Mario from North Philly. Some of the roughest Puerto Ricans that you can encounter is from North Philly. I'm telling you, they got heart. They just like niggas. They 100% like niggas. I'm talking about hearts of a lion. Like, they get it in. But I seen this kid named Briz sucker punch this Puerto Rican boy named Mario. And then it just turned into like cats and dogs. That's what it looked like. And then when they step away from each other, it's blood everywhere. It's blood. It's blood everywhere. It's blood everywhere. I'm telling you. Now, he said they was in the blend. That's what it looked like. I'm telling you. Now, amongst this, now that's just the general. That's just the norm. Within that, you'll run into some niggas that know how to box for real with shit. And in my day, a lot of Philly niggas really knew how to box. They really, really, really knew how to box. Like the way niggas play basketball where I'm from, like we was totally into basketball. Them niggas was in the boxing. You dig? They was in the boxing. And when you see some niggas that's in a fight, a real fight, and one of them start, you know what I mean, doing all this kind of shit and turning sideways and shit like that, you like, oh shit. You like, oh shit, man, this nigga knows some shit, right? Some of them niggas really knew that shit. Like when you seen a nigga from Philly, man, them niggas be, y'all calling it the shell and shit like that. Like, man, them niggas sidestepping and shit, like switching. Like, nigga might start rumbling you where he leading with the left, you know what I'm saying? And you know he can't get you right, so he switch and start leading with the right, and you like, man, what the fuck is going on here? I'm talking about footwork, spinning you around, all of that shit. Like, might hit you with a comment. When you a kid, you're not prepared for combinations. You're not prepared for combinations at all. A combination is when a nigga hits you about 7-8 times consecutively and been working on it, been practicing this shit. I'm serious. I'm serious. And it sound like this. And then he'll step off on you to catch his breath and shit. And a lot of times, when they would step off, the nigga in front of them just drop. I'm serious, man. The nigga that caught the combination, like, they would just drop and it be done and shit. Like, motherfucker, get up, get your motherfucking ass up, and then get back to it and shit. But I'm serious as a motherfucker. I'm serious. Like, they will put some combinations on your ass that the staff members would be like, oh shit. Like the motherfuckers who are responsible for restoring order in this camp or trying to keep the order in this motherfucker, like a motherfucker might unleash a combination and a motherfucking staff would be like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? So this is what goes along with the when a nigga from Philly said rumble me. Because it's really a fist fight. He said, I got hit with a 2-piece to both sides of my ribs when I was 14. I damn near passed out. They be doing shit like that. Like, they be trained to do that. They, like, in my day anyway, they was growing up learning that shit. So, a nigga might hit you with a body head combo and shit. When you a kid, you're not prepared for a motherfucker to just boom and hit you in your body and then just take all the fight. And like Bernard Hopkins, Bernard Hopkins dropped. It was De La Hoya, didn't he? Didn't he put De La Hoya down with a body shot? Didn't he? That was De La Hoya, right? Like, De La Hoya was a bad motherfucker. It was Oscar, right? Yeah. That's some shit that you would see from Philly niggas. Like, they be on that. Like, before the gunplay and shit like that. But, yeah, when a nigga say rumble me, that's like a challenge where you got to get down and shit. So, right now, Garcia's manhood is being tested like a motherfucker. Like, it don't mean much to everybody, but niggas this day age, like, ooh, he called him out for a rumble. Yeah. So, he said he hit him with a floating rib. Beanie Siegel did that backstage, and one of them, Beanie Siegel hit, Beanie Siegel hit DJ Clue. He hit DJ Clue with a body shot on backstage and folded his ass up. DJ Clue was over there, bent over like he had the dookie and shit. Nigga ain't never felt no shit like that in his life. And Beans is just playing with him. But they play like that. Like, they play like that. He said, you wrong. I'm dead serious, man. I'm dead serious. This is, I'm going to tell y'all a story that I'm out of here, right? This is a true story. I was in Vision Quest, and me and my man Huff was picking with this ugly nigga named Gene Russo. Gene Russo, he was a Jamaican. And me and my man Huff was picking with this nigga, man, calling him Rockface and you ugly ass nigga. Like, we young, man. Like, and when you kids and shit, like, kids can be bullies and you don't even need the size. If you got a vicious mouth, like, some people can't take that shit. But anyway, me and my man Huff, he's dead right now, David Amaker. He was from Logan, Philly. We picking with this nigga named Gene Russo. And he was like, yo, man. He was like, man, why y'all fucking with me, man? Leave me alone, man. I ain't bothering y'all, right? Like, ugly ass nigga. We was in this thing called a sweat lodge. And a sweat lodge is like it's like an outdoor sauna. And it was a ceremony that was practiced by Native Americans and shit. And it's like a bunch of tarps over some wood. Like, Oskino or anybody that was up the quest, remember the sweat lodges. We was in a sweat lodge, right? You could Google this too. You can Google what is a sweat lodge. And it's like a dome made out of, sticks and shit like that. And they put a bunch of tarps over the top of it. Now, in the middle of it is a fire and shit. Is a fire, and it's dug into the ground. And inside inside this fire is a big ass kettle, and it's water boiling in this kettle, and they be bringing rocks. They'll lift up the tarp and they say hot rock, and they'll take the rocks and put it inside this kettle and shit, and steam just fly out through the motherfucking, it's like being in a sauna and shit, and it's supposed to be a Native American purification process. Boom. So everybody in there sweating. And when the door came open, we was looking at this nigga Gene who was sweating and shit, man. He looked like a wet monkey and shit. We was laughing like a motherfucker, me and my man Huff. He like, man, he was almost about to cry, right? We like, man, you rock face motherfucker, you look rock monster. Like, he like, man, why don't y'all leave me alone, man? Like, I ain't fucking with y'all, man. Boom. Like a week later, no bullshit, we in the gym. We in the gym playing basketball. And niggas used to go sneak off to this, what we called the cubby hole. It was like going to the locker room. It was like basically a blind spot where the staff couldn't see. We called it the cubby hole. And that's where niggas would go to rumble. We playing basketball. We getting it in. Sweating like a motherfucker. We getting it in. And all of a sudden we start hearing, boom, Boom, boom. We like, man, what the fuck is that? Boom, boom. So you see a couple, kids, youth start going and kind of looking in the cubby hole. They like, oh, they in there rumbling. Who is it? They like, it's Gene and Mavis. Mavis was from North Philly. Gene was from Brownsville, Brooklyn. But he was a Jamaican nigga. We walked over there and took a peek in there and looked. And Gene was beating this nigga to death. Gene was beating this nigga to death. And he had Mavis in a corner. And he was whooping on him. And whenever Mavis tried to get out, he hit him with his forearms and backed him up into the corner and shit. This nigga knew some shit. And whenever we heard that boom, boom, it was when he was missing. It was when he was missing Mavis and hitting the wall. All of that boom, boom, it was when he was hitting the wall. So somebody said, staff coming. Gene backed up off this nigga and Mavis just fell, blood everywhere. And we was in there with our, peeking in, watching. That nigga came, this the same nigga we was calling Rockface. That nigga came out of there sweating and he looked at me and Huff. He looked at me and Huff. Like, yeah, you motherfuckers, y'all don't even know I could have killed one of you little motherfuckers. I looked at Huff, he looked at me, we was like, oh shit, he could have killed us. Yo, this motherfucker was a killer, but he wasn't like, he could have killed us. He could have killed us. We laughed about that shit. We was like, oh my God, did you see what he did to Mavis? We laughed like a motherfucker. So we were so scared to talk to this nigga, right? After the fight, you go to this shit called COA. That's called Center of Attention. Like, it's kind of like lockup within the camp. Gene went to COA. He went to COA, and Mavis went on a med run. They had to put him back together and shit, right? So we was so scared of this nigga. We had to wait a couple days to talk to him and crack some jokes. We seen him in the chow hall, and we was like, damn, Gene, man, why you fuck that nigga up like that? You could have killed us. He started laughing. He was a couple years older than us, and he knew that he would have fucked us up bad. We was some little niggas, so he basically gave us a pass. But we was like, man, you a killer. What the fuck? He started laughing. This motherfucker like, man, I've been boxing all my life. True story. True story. True story, man. He probably was doing that 52 block shit, man, but he damn near killed this nigga. I'm talking about killed him with his hands, man. And me and her for like 2 days, we was talking about, man, that nigga could have killed us. Like, we was no match for this nigga. We was no match. We blaming each other and shit. He was like, man, you the one that started it. I'm like, man, you started it. True story. Anyway, yeah, he said he was nice with his hand. He was deadly. This nigga was deadly. Like, he was beating Mavis to death. He had him in a corner, man, and when we was hearing that boom, boom, is when he was missing. He was hitting the wall and shit. That's when we heard that boom. This nigga could have killed us, man. He gave us a pass. But I'll never forget that shit. He basically showed y'all grace. Yeah. Me and Huff was real popular and shit. We used to be bidding on everybody and shit, but he was like, man, why don't y'all leave me alone, man? I ain't fucking with y'all. This motherfucker had murderous hands. True story, man. If Mavis is still lives, his name was Mavis Davis. He was from North Philly, I believe. This is a legendary ass whooping, man. It was blood everywhere. It was blood everywhere. But I got to go. He said the calm before the storm. He said he looked at, man, that nigga came out there with that rock face and seen me and Huff looking in there at the fight. That nigga looked at us like, He didn't even have to say nothing to us. He just let us know. I could have killed you little motherfuckers, man, fucking with me and shit. But I got to go. He said, you got to leave motherfuckers alone. Facts. I think he was doing the 52 because he was doing some shit like this. And whenever what's-the-name was trying to get away, he like pushed him back with his forearms and went to working on his ass some more. I got to go, man. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get the notifications. Mike Knox called Oskino out for a rumble. And hey, man, we don't know where this is going to go. So make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at IamGullyTV_. Twitter, GullyTV1. I'm out. Peace.